Hey, what up guys? It's Jack and welcome back to another video, and I apologize for the sound of my voice. It is 3:46 a.m. in the morning, and in a couple hours from now I have to be at work and I couldn't sleep, so I figured let's make a video. And of course the subject of today's discussion was kind of mentioned on stream today, and I kind of wanted to include you guys in on this as well because again, I know that there are those of you guys that don't come to stream because it's not your thing or whatnot. You guys are more video people. I very much understand that. So I'm going to kind of translate it onto the subject at hand. There are casual players. There are, let's say, how do I put this? There are the hardcore casual players, and then there's the competitive pro players or whatnot, or competitive players, when it comes to any sort of game, not just limited to Call of Duty. And I think every single aspect of the player base should always be thought of when it comes to the future of the games and different steps that games and development of games take into consideration. Everybody should be taken into consideration, not just the pro scene, and not just the filthy casuals, but the in-betweeners as well. You basically want to try to please everybody. And earlier on stream today, it was mentioned by somebody in the chat that had a little bit of a different perspective than I did on the subject at hand. So I wanted to let you guys in so that way we can broaden the perspective and widen it and kind of get more feedback on this. And that is, well, do you guys believe that skill-based matchmaking is necessary? I was also told in the chat that skill-based matchmaking, I don't know where they read this or whatnot, and you can please feel free if you managed to find an article on this, or if there's been statistics or something like that have suggested that this is the case. But according to the chat, or the person in the chat, skill-based matchmaking actually overall increases the retention rate of the game, like in terms of how long people play the game or whatnot. So I don't know if this is true or not, but if it is, then I guess that would make sense why skill-based matchmaking is a thing and why it's spreading. I mean, it's gone on to Fortnite, it's gone on to Apex Legends. It's been in Call of Duty, but it seems to kind of get played with every year. And as time goes on, it almost feels like the art of pub stomping is going to become more rare up until it becomes extinct because of skill-based matchmaking and the way that we, I guess, have evolved as gamers, I guess. I mean, I guess you can kind of say it's partially our fault when you look at it in that sense. And I'm not just talking about I'm not necessarily talking about the YouTube community. I'm talking pretty much everybody. The YouTube community helped accelerate it because of the power of social media and the internet, of course, making things spread wider and all that kind of stuff, as well as I mean, actually, it's the sole reason why the competitive scene is as big as it is, really, if you think about it. But it's not just the competitive scene, it's also the pub stomping scene, and then everybody in between, and then the natural progression of things. Like when I was coming up and when I was learning Call of Duty, here's the problem, okay? Right now at this point, one of the reasons why they're implementing skill-based matchmaking is basically to hold new players by the hand. Me personally, I never really went through this. I kind of had my easy lobbies, I've had my hard lobbies, and I've had the everything in between lobbies. And to this day, that has not changed. As a matter of fact, the only way that it has changed is that there seems to be a increased percentage of harder lobbies, specifically in the Call of Duties that are during the life cycle. Once the life cycle is over, I don't know if it's because players move on or if there's something that changes due to the connection or whatnot in terms of the application of how skill-based matchmaking works. But obviously after the game's life cycle, the population starts to die down for that certain Call of Duty game when the next one comes out, normally. So I guess they kind of mess with the algorithm after that or whatnot. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm just going about what I feel. Like when Advanced Warfare first came out, the skill-based matchmaking in that game was pretty damn rough. And then after that game's life cycle was over, it was like we were playing a completely different game. And I solely think to this day that that's one of the reasons why people didn't like Advanced Warfare. I think if people I think if Advanced Warfare didn't have the form of skill-based matchmaking, whatever the hell you want to call it, in the game, I think the game would have been a lot more enjoyable for more people. Now, granted, a lot of people didn't like it because they just didn't enjoy that flavor of advanced movement. I totally get it. I totally understand. For a lot of people, didn't feel like COD. Again, totally get it. Totally understand. But at the same time, Evolution is making, like, it's gotten to the point to where it's like, well, if it hasn't changed in terms of what I'm experiencing, except the fact that I'm experiencing more of a higher percentage of sweaty lobbies due to the change of the algorithm or the adjustment of the algorithm, it's like, well, why? When you introduce skill-based matchmaking, it's like, and in future games as well, it's like you're forcing competitive down people's throats, and at the same time, those casual players, the ones that want to get better and spend their time in getting better, they're always going to be sweating, and they're never going to really enjoy the benefits of the ability to basically stomp lobbies and to get gameplays like this or that you see your YouTubers play. Not everybody that plays the game wants to be competitive at it. Okay, the majority of the people is that they only have a few hours out of the week, usually the weekends, to play the game, and all they want to do is get on, have a good time, get a few kills, and that's it. And they want to see if they can enjoy themselves more and get more kills as they progress, and then they'll just have it at that. Or they might want to do challenges. They might want to, fuck around a little bit. See, the thing is, when you introduce skill-based matchmaking, and when you have skill-based matchmaking in the game, you're taking a lot of that out of the equation. You're taking a lot of that essence out of there, and you're basically eliminating, the benefits of basically like, hey, I was once a noob and now I'm stomping noobs. All of that is going away because the better you get, the game kind of adapts and gives you better players to play against. And the problem with this, in my humble opinion, the big problem with this is that you're forcing that upon players, because there's a time where we want to just chill and just stomp lobbies, and it doesn't. Believe it or not, once you get to being a good player, and other players that are just as good as me or not better, they're going to see this video or watch my stuff or whatnot, they'll tell you they don't always have to sweat to get gameplays like this. You know what I mean? It seems that way, but we don't always have to sweat, believe it or not. And we're not sweating as hard as some of you may think. I'd say there's only very few times where you have to actually like sweat like hardcore. A majority of the time, I'm going in around anywhere from 50 to 60%, 70 at most. And then there's other times to where I have to turn up the heat a little bit. In other words, earlier in the stream today, I was getting melted by LMGs by everybody, including people with no thumbs, which forced me to put on my LMG, and then I tried as best as I could to come back and to win, up until the point to where I got more hate mail, and that actually did happen. And I mean, if you want to see it, let me know, and I'll go back and I'll take the gameplay out, and you guys can see what I'm talking about. But anyway, I wanted to get your point of view on this. Do you guys think that skill-based matchmaking is in the future of games, and do you believe that it is a necessity? Or do you guys think that it doesn't belong and it only belongs in competitive play? And it's already spread up to other games as mentioned earlier. So what do you guys think about this whole thing, the future of gaming and the skill-based matchmaking, and how Evolution is making all this shit happen, and the combination of YouTube, the pro scene, the pub stomping scene, the popularity of social media, everything like that? I want to know your perspective on things, and give me your feedback. Let me know what you guys think and what your perspective is. And that's it. That's all I got for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay and the commentary. And as always, if you did, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know what I could do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.